Hello and welcome, friends. Let's talk about how the Qatari royal family spends their billions. As a member of the royal family of Qatar and a member of the board of directors of Qatar Airways, Sheikh Mohammed bin Fahd Al Thani has a lot of official duties. Sheikh Al Thani used to be the head of the Qatar military police. Since then, he's played many important roles in Qatar's government. It is a busy schedule, and his property in Paris is a welcome break from this formality. This is a place where he can escape the heat of Qatar's summer and build a hideaway for his family and young grandchildren. Here, he can get away from the strictness of his schedule. In the 8th arrondissement, in the middle of Paris' Golden Triangle, the property is just a few steps from Avenue Montaigne. The 800 square meter mansion, also called a Hotel Particulier, was built in the 19th century. It was built in the Haussmann style, which is known for its use of limestone and long, thin facades. The previous owners didn't take care of the building's infrastructure and destroyed the interiors. Because of this, there are no historical details on the property. The Sheikh hired Timothy Corrigan, a well-known interior designer who's had a lot of experience restoring old homes like Georgian townhouses in London and an 18th century chateau in France, to bring the home back to its former splendor before the renovation. Corrigan's design team changed the mechanicals and added paneling, moldings, and columns to the rooms. They also fixed the plasterwork in the Haussmann style. The renovation was finished in a little more than a year thanks to the team's hard work. They worked together with different crews and skilled artisans from Paris to bring back original elements from the time period. Sheikh Al Thani was involved in almost every part of the design, says Corrigan. The person said, "It is a blessing to be able to work with someone who is so clear about what he likes and doesn't like." Sheikh Al Thani is also a graduate of the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst and has spent a lot of time abroad. This has given him a worldly and sophisticated outlook that fits his position. He is so lucky to have such great taste. Sheikh Al Thani was involved in almost every detail of the situation. He's very honest about the things that make him happy. Corrigan says with a laugh, "It's amazing that 9 out of 10 times, the things he picks are the ones I would have picked myself." Corrigan is a designer who works out of Los Angeles. His skills are unique, and he's made a name for himself by giving homes an air of aristocracy. The home's fixtures are either custom-made or bought from auction houses and antique shops in many different countries. Even though the house is certainly very nice, the family's comfort is still the most important thing. Even though Sheikh Al Thani likes to be in fancy places, this room has been designed to give off an air of laid-back luxury with heavy antiques and soft sofas. There isn't a single color scheme that stands out. Instead, each area has its own style. But blue and gold are used in the shared spaces, which is a nod to the way Doha's lights look when they reflect off the Persian Gulf and can be seen from these places. The entrance hall of the house is an octagon with walls painted to look like limestone and ceilings painted to look like trellis work. It's a beautiful way to make a first impression. This makes it seem like it's always spring in Paris and always sunny. This area is connected to a mirror corridor with a fake skylight that leads to a center rotunda, which has a beautiful fountain that makes a quiet splashing sound. The designer says, "I wanted to make a sense of flow that leads a guest from the front door to the salon through a series of rooms that have something to do with the river and the city's landmarks." The ceiling of the rotunda has small clouds painted in different colors to make it look like the sky above. The marble and gilt bronze fountain of 2 cherubs hugging a swan stands out in a room full of priceless artifacts, like the table from the Empire period that has flowers in a porcelain Sèvres urn on it. The porcelain Sèvres urn is another piece that stands out. The fountain was one of a pair that used to be in the Palace of Versailles Theatre, but it was taken during the French Revolution and no one ever found a replacement. Even though this one was found and then bought at an auction in London, the other fountain has never been found. In the past, the étage noble, which is also called the main salon, was split into 2 reception rooms that were not as fancy. Corrigan took down a wall which made one large salon with an entrance flanked by columns. The room was then set up to have the symmetry that is typical of French architecture. A 3-meter-long console made of inlaid marble separates 2 different seating areas. Both of these seating areas face fireplaces and are anchored by large silk velvet-covered sofas. Corrigan came up with the idea for the marble and gilt bronze coffee tables that were made just for them. His Excellency likes the old-world luxury of damask, brocade, and hand-embroidered silk curtains, so he specifically asked for the triple-hung draperies, which can be found all over the residence. This was something that's found all over the house. In 1736, Rococo painter Jean-Baptiste Audry made 2 paintings and put them between the windows. Sheikh Al Thani goes to Paris between 6 and 8 times a year and stays there for a few days each time. One of his favorite places to relax is in the cigar room, which has walls made of burled wood and tortoise-shell inlays. The master bedroom is especially cozy and inviting because it's tastefully decorated with pastel blue, cream, and bronze, which are all soothing colors. Corrigan says that every time someone walks into the room, they can't help but say, "Ah," it's like a reflex. The crystal chandelier that hangs from the ceiling above the bed is very special to His Excellency. Because there are no arms connecting the main frame to the chandelier, it looks like it's floating in the air. He loves that, even though it's based on classical music, it's been given a more modern twist, says Corrigan. It looks like something from the past, but has a more modern feel to it. A pair of mirror-made screens show the view from the south-facing window, which looks out onto the Seine River. The landscape painting by Eugène-Louis Boudin and the paintings by Claude Monet on the wall looks good against the pale blue walls. This man, who has worked hard for the public all his life, finds peace and comfort. Here are some crazy luxury items that other royal families have bought at a high cost. London properties. Sheikh Moza bin Nasser Al Misned, one of the wives of the emir of Qatar and the mother of the crown prince, spent a total of £190 million on 3 homes close to each other in 2014. The royal family of Qatar put together 3 separate estates to make 1, 2, and 3 Cornwall Terrace, which is a very large house. The house was designed by Decimus Burton, who became famous as a student of John Nash, the architect who built Buckingham Palace. Nash was also the teacher of Decimus Burton. At the moment, the royal family of Qatar owns more properties in London than the royal family of England. When it's done, their new home is expected to be worth £313 million, which will make it the most expensive house in all of London. Most costly jet. Prince Al-Walid bin Talal of Saudi Arabia owns an Airbus 380, which is said to be worth about $500 million. It's also the largest and most expensive private jet of its kind in the world. People think that the plane, which was made just for the Saudi prince, has a concert hall, a Turkish bath, a garage for a luxury car, and even a prayer room with electrical mats that automatically turn to face Mecca. It is also said that the plane has a garage for a high-end car. The most expensive yacht in the world. The Azam is 180 meters long and is the largest yacht in the world. Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the ruler of Abu Dhabi, is proud to own the world's biggest yacht, which is called Azam and is 180 meters long. The yacht is thought to be worth $605 million and has a main salon and its own missile defense system. It can also carry a submarine. Azam can go fast in warm, shallow water, and its cabins are both luxurious and elegant. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned for more.